Alright, I see the file, so it should be recording. Stone Ghost Recon Breakpoint. The key was provided by AMD, and I don't quite remember what else I want to do next. Turn to Schultz later, which... where even is he? I don't think enough time has passed. Yeah, he would be over there, but... he's not... well, the symbol isn't on him, so I can't do anything with him yet. I was last here. Let's see if there's anything in Sinking Country to do. And by the way, this will probably only be about 2.5 hours. I can't be up very late today. I wonder what that stuff is. Yeah, the funny thing about the weekend... I already looked at that one. Is that there's other things going on more so than the weekdays, so it's actually harder for me to get time in. Like tomorrow, I'm really expecting I'm not gonna be able to get much time in. This is Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday, and it's just because other stuff is going on then. Because even though everybody's home because the I don't remember the actual name of the order, but the like shelter-in-place order stuff, the lockdown stuff. Even though everybody's home because of that, it's still the weekend that you normally would do the things that take you outside the house, or just the more family activities, because that's the routine, and you still keep to that anyway, even if you technically don't have to. All right. I mainly just want to have a look at this. See what it is, and if I care. Scale technology location. Yeah, what the hell, why not? In fact, I can't do that. There it is. In fact, I can even do one thing that could, in theory, help. There. And there. Because Schultz even said, come back the next day. Well, it'll be the next day now. And I'll also go over and do the thing. Yeah, it is funny to me, though. Because it's like, I legitimately don't care about day or night in this game. I know that like for stealth, it's nice if it's night out because then it's harder for people to see you. Yeah, it's also harder for me to see them. And I can still manage it in the daytime. So the game finally gave me a reason to care that what day it is, what time of day it is. I'm gonna have to remember when I get back to working on the writing for the review to just make sure I put something in there. And I do mention all that. That is annoying, and I'm not sure why that's happening. The stuff popping in and out. I did put in there that, it's, you don't, like, capture the bases or anything like that. Which does mean that my taking the time to clear the map is kind of pointless. Except that, I am gathering the blueprints and various resources to fully upgrade things, but it's, it's not the same. It's not like I'm actually impacting the world. All I'm doing is advancing myself. But I'm mildly hopeful, as in it would be nice, and I think it would also be somewhat reasonable, but I really doubt it. That maybe like with the Outcast, that at some point I could progress something such that places are held. Yep, it is inside. Okay, like can actually capture a base and I will hold it, or the Outcast will, something like that. Alright, back to Erewhon. Ah, neat. And then I will go down to Windy? The place where the outcasts are. I'm gonna do that. That's my plan. Get some water. And this may sound weird, but I am liking the fact that without the gear score, I'm not thinking about that. I'm thinking about playing the game. I'm not thinking about getting a better weapon. And I'm not saying that as a... I don't like doing that in other games. That's not all it... It's just... It's nice to be able to just play the game. To just... You know, go after the mission, you know, do the missions, go after the bases, do stuff like that. It is nice to have the simplicity, and yeah, sometimes change out a weapon, but these are the weapons I like. They're good. I don't need to worry about changing them. That is actually nice.
Shells, moment of your time.
Think you've earned that by now? What's on your mind?
You remember the key I found while searching for your friend? Well, it had the radiation trifoil on it. Looked old. Grease-scale.
This was out by the Cold War bunker?
Yeah.
Now that I'm really thinking about it, there were whispers of a nuclear test site out there. It was a few decades back, but I never saw any evidence of it, so I didn't pay it much attention.
Testing. Here. That wasn't in my briefing.
Officially, it never happened. But there was a lot more weird stuff going on down here than most people realize. But if your curiosity is piqued, I'd go look around Howard Port. Harbor is deep there and the place is old. That's where the shipments would have come in.
Alright.
We'll make them pay tenfold.
Be right back here. Right there. Ah, that's annoying. There's no nearby bivouac for it. Yeah, I'll try to take this mission as far as I can. Because it does have me curious. It does seem weird though that, well, yeah, weird to do nuclear testing on an island, on this island, since there would have been inhabitants on it. Unless it was more like a preparation. I just mean like realistically, it doesn't make much sense, but it could be like a preparation kind of thing. You know, like they would have things here to prepare the devices that would be tested, or for collecting and processing data from the tests. You know, it's... Yeah. Like, I'd have to check, but I want to say the case is that there's only one person ever killed by a hydrogen bomb, and that's because the guy wouldn't leave, or just didn't leave an island that was used as a test target. I think that might be the case. I'd have to check. It's been... I mean, that was early high school for me that the teacher mentioned that. I'm just hoping to see... Oh, I already passed them. I don't feel like going back for it. Yeah. You know, one thing that is actually really interesting, that you may not even realize is true or even possible, but in both cases it is, with hydrogen bombs, is that because it is actually the yield is fuel dependent, they can actually be tuned. Then, I mean, that's actually the case for a number of conventional bombs, and that I actually don't know how it works, but they actually have the capacity to tune the destructive force of hydrogen bombs. At least some models, and oh man, it has been years since I saw that, but it's a funny consequence of the Cold War and the arms race that a lot of people probably don't think much about, including people who should. At the time, because the concern was the potential for a nuclear war and wanting to win that war, at least the United States, I'm sure it's also true for Russia, I just am more familiar with the Soviet Union, I'm just more familiar with the US. The weapons were built to be at high yield. They were not built to survive long. It just wasn't the concern. You weren't thinking about these things lasting 20, 30 years. You were thinking about, okay, how can we make sure these things explode and do as much damage as they can? So I saw this many years ago. A new design for nuclear weapons was developed with the idea being to transition the old Cold War weapons to this design because they were designed for longevity. They would technically be a lower yield, but the idea was we need to be able to trust these things.
Imagine being as rich.
I'm not sure how much the concern was them like detonating unexpectedly, but that you not necessarily knowing if they would actually go off when you need them to, or that the yield would be correct. You know, it's like in theory it could be lower, in theory it could be higher, because it's just you don't know. It's like that they were very new weapons. In some ways, they still are very new weapons. But of course, today,
No movement.
there is no active testing for nuclear devices, nuclear weapons, at least. So they use computer models. I think it's... I'm trying to remember which... Well, hang on. The Camp Ferret. Okay. I guess I'm gonna go back there.
Word is the Freeport.
It's all the way down here. Okay. I keep looking at the wrong things. Okay. Northeast of Mount Elite. Sorry, Mount Elliott. So it's right here. Alright, now I just need fast travel point. That cannot be the closest. Ew, this one's closer. Oh.
Folks ran into some snags.
There. Los Alamos does some of the testing. I'm trying to remember if Sandia is as well. But some of the DOE, Department of Energy, National Laboratories, that is a significant part of their duties is nuclear research, where they are doing computer simulations for modeling what would happen, what can happen. You know what? I really shouldn't have done that. It's not a big deal. It's just... It would be better to get on the other side of the ridge and then either just run down or figure out how to pull the parachute out. You know, I saw something not too long ago. Very interesting thing. Concerning nuclear weapons, but during World War II. Because what some people may not fully realize and comprehend is that America was far from the only nation working on it. The Nazis were as well. And they had a head start, too. Plus, the Germans were... Was it... I'm trying to remember if World War II was in fact the turning point for it. But Germany used to be the leader in patents and scientific research in the world. I don't remember when the transition happened, but it did transition to America being in the lead. But they had the scientists, they had the technology, they were very, very capable. And when the experiments that they were doing was trying to have uranium cubes on like a chandelier that would be submerged in I think it was submerged in heavy water, but that's how they were setting up the uranium to see how it would interact. And basically what I saw not that long ago was sort of an analysis of how close were they. And it was saying that in theory... Oh yeah, it also introduced it with one of the people that not only looks into some of the history of it, but is into the science, was once given a gift by somebody. And it was one of the cubes, because some of them actually did survive the war. And it was just what is this? And now we have to figure out the history to this here, and that's what was being shared. And basically, part of what they figured out was that they had this chandelier set up, but they had it in two places. And that may have saved a lot of people. Because if the documents that were seized at the end of the war in Europe, I'm pretty sure that's where it was that they got this from, the number from. They figured out that if they had, instead of splitting it into two locations, splitting the experimentation in two locations, done it all at once and used all of the uranium that they had, they actually might have been able to reach a reaction and like get to the next step and basically have gotten the bomb first. But fortunately, they had it separated. And I think part of the reason why was just they didn't want, if one facility was destroyed, to completely lose it all, all the eggs in one basket. And also by that point, efforts were being made by the Allies to specifically stop the Nazis from succeeding. But it's still, they had a head start. It also helped that a lot of scientists were fleeing Germany and coming to places like the United States, England, Russia. We're trying to escape that, to not be involved. Or to be involved, but for the other side. See? And there were even some, I wish I could remember which ones, the names specifically, that actually set up a scientist underground railroad. To get the people out. And not just because, so they wouldn't be forced to help, potentially, but also because a number of them were Jewish. They weren't going to do so hot in that regime, even if they were valuable. Wait, what am I looking for here?
Can't even imagine being as rich as Skeletons.
Yeah, I actually do remember assaulting this. I just don't know what it is I'm looking for here. Let me get closer. I definitely have ways of getting in. Let me do that. Okay, so I'm safe to... I'm basically just safe up here. There's very few. What? Son of a bitch. How did I not notice that guy? I keep wanting to hit F. Alright, there. So that's very helpful. Oh, wait, that's right. I'm supposed to talk to people, right? Wait. Huh. I didn't realize I hadn't found every bivouac in here. I don't like this. Why is this not popped? That should actually be what the keycard opens, but anyway. You die. Okay. It's dangerous, but in that use, the melee is helpful because it's the whole you're guaranteed to hit once you get close enough. It's just every other way, I kinda don't like it. Just to be certain that I've got everybody marked. Because there's nobody else. Well, there's no other place I could be at this point for covering them. Interesting. There had... I'm pretty sure that there had been a drone when I attacked this previously. So that is interesting that that did not come back. Whoops. I think they also heard the explosion.
Contact! Enemy contact! Got it! We see him! We'll be ready!
Oh, they are both in there. Okay. Go into this so I know I'll see them.
I'm getting my ass to cover! I hit him!
Alright. That's all of them. Okay. Thought I heard something. How was I not... Okay, this is Camp Ferret, right? Red Ferret. In the wrong damn place. It's over here. It's fine though. This is fine. I did think it weird, because, like, where's the underground section he was mentioning? Okay. There's a helicopter here, right? Yeah, right there, in fact. Oop, I hit the wrong button. Didn't matter, I just hit... My hand was shifted off by one key. No. There we go. It might be stupid, but I still want to do it. Yeah, I'll land and then let me check. Let me check inventory. Yeah, I do. Do you want to do this? It is kind of stupid, but I do want to take out the behemoth and get the metal. Yeah. How did I assault it before? This might actually be where I head for it. Please don't move. Okay. Okay. I was waiting for that because I want to send out the drone to distract it, but I first needed it to actually be attacking. Shit. Okay, that... No, it didn't. What the heck? Oh. I'm being spotted by somebody else. Whoa. Okay.
What the? I got a visual on enemy.
No, you don't. I knew that there was one more guy at least, so... Okay, it is following the drone. And I did see that there was an exclamation point here. Where is the son of a bitch? Whoop. wanted to blow off some more armor. Because it was annoying how much there still was on it. Hopefully that did the job. Good on that side. I'm good on both sides, okay. The treads are still covered, but... And I think there are weak points there, but the main ones are now exposed. I think, yeah, I managed to stay vanished for that. Whew, that was close. Now, I'm a little curious if there are people that are like, oh yeah, we'll just farm behemoths, because they'll do it in a group, and it's like, here's how you do it solo. Okay, none will hit. Well, hit me. No, that timing works actually. Shit. Ah, damn it. Bullshit. I'm sorry, it is bullshit. They shouldn't be allowed to be like, oh, you're over there, and immediately turn all the rockets over. That is bullshit. It's like in a game where there's like melee combat that goes back and forth, or anything where it's like, big ass dude immediately turns and attacks you. I seem to recall Doom Eternal pulling that shit, and I'm sorry, no, it's not acceptable. It isn't. It really isn't. These are big things. They shouldn't be able to immediately and instantly respond like that. Because it's how's that fair to the player? It's like, you did nothing wrong at all. You did nothing wrong. And now it's going to be a Blythe, isn't it? Where the hell is it? Oh, it's... Holy crap, it didn't actually change. That is amazing. Oh, there it is. I need you to stop. Thank you.
Contact! We got enemy contact!
But no, I mean, like with this, I'm sorry, it's like, no, they get locked in when it's gonna be firing. Not this, like, the instant. What the hell? You were shooting through the ground, you son of a bitch. But not this bullshit of, damn it! Of it's like the instant before it actually launches, it can go anywhere I want it to. It's like, no, that's... Then you know what? My rockets, they need to be homing. I need to be able to have those be homing. Because why not? Why not? Why am I not allowed to have homing rockets, but a behemoth can change its target in an instant? You have got to be fucking... I'm out. I'm... You know what? Go ahead. Kill me. It'll wipe I'm in combat. You have got... But look at this. Look at this bullshit. How many things were lighting up? is absolute bullshit. There doesn't need to be a dozen fucking guys around the behemoth. They're the bigger threat right now. Sure, the behemoth can one-hit me. Actually, no. Well, yeah, it potentially can. But they are the bigger threat, because they're the assholes that are flanking me, and then I have no idea where the fuck they are. Alright, I mean, it's like single most powerful enemy I have encountered in the game so far. It's the junk piece of shit mobs that it just has all around. Those are the ones that are actually pissing me the fuck off. Where the fuck is it now? There it is. See, I do have correct priorities here, Behemoth. I'm sorry, you're actually not the top one. That Breacher is, because he's gonna ruin my day. You were fine until it's like, oh shit, I have to deal with these assholes, and now I just got hit because of your bullshit instant to changing aim. But it's so annoying, because like I said, I also experienced that in Doom Eternal. It's like, are developers just losing sight of the fact that you can't actually do that? That it actually isn't fair to have an enemy, especially a large enemy, be able to instantly react? Because it's not realistic, for one thing, and that's like part of it with the Doom Eternal that was so weird. It's like, how is this behemoth of an enemy able to instantly change its attack direction? That doesn't make sense. And it's like with this, like right now, because that is already opened, it's like, though, it should be locked in where that's going to be aiming. That's funny. I'd also love to know why sometimes it's like a solid red disc, and other times it fades out from the center. Because, I mean, like, look, the one I was in is like that, but the one up there wasn't. There's a little bit closer. It's like, there should be some information being carried by that, but I have no concept of what it is. Because it doesn't... what would it tell me other than it's like, well, here you might be in the center, you might be safer? That doesn't make any sense. That's... Isn't it? That's ludicrous. It also, I'm sorry, I think that it would be fair if there were a way to disable its mortars. Because it's not like it would be defenseless, it just wouldn't be so annoying. would also really be nice if they were a better source of metal than the behemoths. Because when you think about it, there is no better source other than, oh yeah, you just happen upon it. But, you know, that is something I know I haven't mentioned in the review, in what I've written of the review, and I do need to. Is a speculation I have that the lack of the gear score, and also that I can only carry two primary weapons, is actually working against me, in that I do not have weapons that I can dismantle. I think that might be the case. It's like I have far fewer materials. Because it might just be that, oh yeah, you're supposed to be able to dismantle weapons. That's how you get metal parts. It's like, in Ghost, no, you basically have to farm behemoths to get it. Which, in some ways, isn't horrible. In some ways it isn't horrible because you can do it. But in other ways, it is horrible because that's a change I don't think is really intentional, and there's like no middle ground either. Like, I can't, in Ghost experience with no gear level, have more than the two weapons, it appears. I am stuck. And it's not like you can dismantle on site, or even just purchase the materials. It is, well, and by dismantle on site, I mean like those idiots that just killed drop weapons. I can't like decide, oh, I'm just going to tear those apart instead of picking them up. I don't have that option. So yeah, I do question that aspect of the Ghost experience. That it now, true, technically you probably need fewer, because, you know, like right now I have been using just the two. Ooh, I got it. Just the two weapons mainly, but I am upgrading others. So it's not unreasonable that I would, you know, want metal parts. But yeah, that is one aspect that I feel is suffering. But again, I mean, it is a, oh yeah, if you just don't bother. Okay. I was just curious. It did not give me enough ammo to refill completely. But yeah, it just... Now, I do think it would also be worth noting this, though. Undoubtedly, this was playtested a lot internally. Which means, one way or another, this is the decided on design. Because, like, my concerns I just gave would have been given by others. So, and it might just be a... People are going to be sticking to, like, 2, 3, maybe 4 weapons and not going to be upgrading a lot. They don't need a lot of metal. It's not a big deal. And there may have been some saying, well, but there will be those that will want to, like, get everything upgraded. It's like, okay, those people will invest the time. They'll do basically what I just did, which is, however it is, they'll just kill the behemoths for it. And that'll be part of the fun for them. And it's like, yeah. But it's still... is not ideal, I feel. That having a second reliable source, whatever that is, would be appropriate. Balancing it may be a bitch, but because you wouldn't want it to just be disassembling weapons unless they don't give that much, because without the gear score, and only carrying the 2 weapons, basically you could clear any place. Although, I guess in a way that would be fair, if they tuned it so that, okay, yeah, you can go ahead and you can clear out an entire base like I'm going to be doing soon, and you will get the same 80 metal in the end. It's like the weapons, from dismantling them and all that, you'll get 80. That would be fair to me. I would be comfortable with that kind of trade-off. That it's, I could just spend the time, declare out a base, and I'll get 80 metal, and that takes longer, but it's less likely to kill me than going after a behemoth. Oh, come on! Hang on, I know I already have the note. I need to make the note again, because I need to make sure that it is in the review. But no, it won't let me pull out the drone right now, which is nonsense. It really is. And because I have no idea why. Maybe it's like, oh, it was destroyed. How? It doesn't tell me it's on cooldown. Nothing happened to it. It wasn't even destroyed in the behemoth fight. Why do I not have it? It is just gone. And I mean, it is entirely possible there is a valid reason why it is gone. However, it is still a bug because the fact that you do not know why, you don't know why, and you don't know how, when it will come back, all that stuff makes it a bug. The lack of information, at minimum, is a bug. That it's gone might not be. Maybe there is something that perfectly explains it. The fact that there is no information telling me this, fuck you, the guy calling reinforcements, that is at minimum a bug. At maximum, the bug is, no, the drone should be completely accessible right now. Why is it not? It's like, it's possible that's the bug. But either way, there's a bug here. And it could also, to be fair, could also be a design bug. That it's no, there's a reason why, and you're just not supposed to know why. It's like, or when it's coming back, it's like, okay, that's stupid. But right now, my feeling is more likely that it is a bug. This is not intentional. And it could even be we don't even know what the hell happened. Because that does happen. It was like, we do not know what is causing this. Maybe it doesn't happen. I mean, all the hours I put in, it hasn't really happened that many times, but it does happen, and it's exceedingly frustrating. It's not like I hit the X button to pull out the drone just to check and see if it's there, to talk to it. No, I pull it out to use it, so anytime you try to pull it out and isn't there is a problem. Damn. They got him that time.
Yeah, cowards ran, but they could still be close.
But yeah, I mean it's funny. I am perfectly comfortable talking about other games in these things because I'm just providing like commentary doing this, but not in the reviews. Hang on, what is it? Okay, I don't care. I just saw an email pop up on my phone, and it's like, okay, what is it? It's nothing important.
Keep looking. They're out here.
This is not good for me. But it's like I said, this I'm willing to believe and kind of expect it is a bug versus Doom Eternal, the red glow from the Archville, well, that the Archville boosts enemies and therefore gives them a red glow, but that red glow was previously established multiple times as being an indicator of a buff totem, which also means that enemies will continuously spawn, and it's like, that was an abuse, and I stand by my language saying it was an abuse. Might be a little extreme, but it is an unacceptable use of that red glow, of that visual language. It's like, that is a, no, somebody made a wrong decision, and yeah, it's someone made a wrong decision with that. This, I'm perfectly willing to believe that while that is technically possible, it's always possible in game design. When playing a game, whenever you find an issue, it is entirely possible that was somebody's decision. But this feels more like, no, that this could just be a bug. And I do kind of wonder if I may ever find some amount of like vindication in my in how upset I am with that design in Doom Eternal. I mean, I feel vindicated in that I know there's other people that have also been confused by it. They're kind of loud. When I did a Google search because I was checking something else about Taras Nabad, when the things that came up in the suggested things from Google was buff totem. It's like, there's no buff totem in Taras Nabad. People are asking, where is it? That's a problem.
Damn it! Where the shit?
Because that tells you how confusing that design is. That people are Googling it to try to figure out what the hell's going on. Oh. Okay. So in that regard, I'm vindicated, I'm validated, in that my concern is one shared by others. But it's more like, well, I see a patch note come up at some point saying that Archvilles have been changed, or there is now a short cinematic, short cutscene introducing them and their similarity to the buff totem, so that you know to do that. Because I mean that it was badly done. I mean. But this, it's the way I would put it, and I think I have put it that way in this playthrough. I don't think I've written it yet into the review, and I do want to remember to. I'm not taking the time right now to make that note, though. Is that the game doesn't feel balanced for co-op, with the implication of it not being balanced for solo play. But it does feel like it was designed for solo play. Meaning that it does have design elements that favor cooperative play, that don't favor solo, but somebody playing alone can still achieve. Okay. Like, take the behemoths. those, yeah, probably were designed with co-op play in mind. That you'd be able to have people trading off so you don't have everyone die and it reset. People picking you up, and also people just distracting it. But it is possible to do that with your drone, even alone. So it is doable, it just might have been designed with multiple players in mind. I remember that. Where is Camp Weasel, though? That's... Okay, here it is. So I'm gonna have to follow that, probably. Oh, there's more info to grab right here. I mean, obviously, the Gentleman's Club is going to be in Weasel, not Ferret. You want to make sure you have to go there. Oh, no. There's actually something in the middle. I never actually took the full path. Huh. Okay. Actually, hang on just a sec. Let me... There. No, that's a different thing. Okay, so there isn't actually anything up top, it seems, for it. Very interesting. Okay. Nope, I went past it. Okay. Something else that just occurred to me that's kind of funny is it's labeled critical mass. Which, I guess that would be accurate for nuclear power. But for nuclear bomb, it's the uncontrolled chain reaction. There we go, that's more what I was looking for. That's supercritical. It's been too long since I did any of that math and such. You know, one thing I'm not sure about, just, I don't remember, is if, reactor grade could even go fully supercritical. It wouldn't surprise me if it actually couldn't. That there's just too much other elements, other compounds involved. That the density of the uranium would never be high enough, or whatever the fissile material is, would never actually be high enough to achieve supercritical. There's always going to be enough distance between that it won't happen. Okay, I know there's a tunnel connecting them. It's on the map. How do I get there? And yes, I do know. I just walked in a big circle. Oh, wait. Nope, I didn't. Did I? Come on. There we go. Okay. Okay, this... I think it does turn off, then. Yeah, I just need to take this path. On the right here. See, I want to be kind of careful. So that I don't just drive straight into what would amount to an ambush. I think that I am heading to where it should be, though. Yeah. Screw it. I mean, in theory, they're all right there, so... You know, I can't be snuck up on so long as I can basically lay down suppressing fire. Okay, that may be bad. Or not. There's another guy on the right side. There he is. I wish that there were just a spin up, but there isn't. There. Okay. Oh, well, that's weird. Ah, there we go. I knew there had to be one. So how did this guy get in? Alright. I didn't realize I had gone directly by it. Oh, that's interesting. Looking at the FPS counter in the corner, even though I'm underground, so things can be called, a lot of things can be called, it's still only hanging around 60. Compared to when I'm outside, if I just look up to the sky, I'll actually see reaching into the 70s. It makes me kinda, you know, wish I could upgrade. I mean, I guess technically I could throw like the Vegas 64 in. But, no, I figure I'll wait. See, the RDNA 2 stuff, hopefully. Okay. I was like, this isn't the way I came in. Yeah, there's just like two entrances, the other one's over there. Okay, I haven't seen anything to suggest how the door gets powered. I mean, it is also true, though, that I did kind of decide, I'll just go exploring. Oh wait, what is this? I mean, I just noticed that there is a line here, but... Okay, that has got to be a graphical bug. It should not be that dark. I mean, I can't say I've seen that anywhere else, so I'm probably not going to bother with mentioning it in the review, but that is... I also forget. But that was definitely not correct. It's funny, it actually kind of reminds me of, I think I shared screenshots at least. I don't know what else I might have done with it. When I originally did the series statistics article, when, in Dunes, I believe it was, oh, I accidentally went the right way when I was just exploring. Dunes on OpenGL, the lighting on the sand was completely wrong. Like the sand, it's like, it's daytime in a desert, and somehow the sand was dark like it was night. Whereas both DirectX 11 and the beta implementation of Vulkan then were fine. And by the way, it's fine that it's, you know, dark here because there's no lighting, but it's like this wall is clearly going to be illuminated by these lights. It's like if this door can be completely illuminated, that can be as well.
Sooner or later, those ghosts will learn they don't...
Yeah. And that can be like 2/3 full on the thing. That's batteries. No, I'm serious, those are batteries. This is what they look like to me. Yeah. That would be culling, because technically the view is too far forward. This one looks like batteries, although I don't know why there's so many connections on the top. At least they look like cells of some kind. That would be a nuclear bomb, though. And you would not necessarily want to be this close. Okay, yeah, find the purpose. I mean, it's... I think it's pretty clear it's that bomb there. Maybe it's because I ran in like I did. I mean, I had to be free to kill that guy. What am I missing? I'm just gonna fall down. Oh, wait, hang on. There's focus.
Holy mother of God.
There we go. To defuse. Oh, God. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, you would have the conventional explosives around the fissile material, and the conventional explosives detonate to trigger the compression, and that is what pushes it into being supercritical. Because it's not just a question of mass, but of density. And in a way, something similar happens in hydrogen bombs, fusion bombs, but it's at least it used to be, I don't know if it still is the case, but it used to be you had an atomic bomb, a fission-based bomb, that would be used to create the heat, but maybe also the pressure to trigger the fusion of the hydrogen. What? You would not use a nuclear bomb to target planes, missiles, or ground, well, technically ground forces, yes, but no. It is true that you do proximity, though. Like, you did not detonate the bombs at the ground. They actually would detonate in the air because of how the shockwaves would work. Yeah, there's the whole science to it. Okay. I think I need to run. Well, okay, depending. As far as the conventional explosives go, yes, technically you could detonate those. So long as there's no uranium there, it'll be fine. You know what? I know there's guys there, but I'm not in combat, so I can just do this. I don't have to deal with them. Then there's also neutron bombs, which I'm trying to remember who was. I may have had two teachers that once explained some of that. So the idea is that instead of just the normal explosion, you'd have a lot of neutron radiation produced, because neutron radiation would pass through like tanks and kill the crew. So part of the idea was, and it would also pass through buildings. You could basically annihilate a population without destroying the infrastructure. But the thing is, in order to do that, you had to like add more fissile material, which just made the bomb bigger. So it was this weird kind of, you were actually just making it more powerful. But yeah, that was the actual goal, was so that you could wipe out a city potentially and be able to walk into it days later even. And yeah. There's a lot of weird stuff that they were putting together. But it was also, there were issues with the idea of the tanks.
But no, we're in the clear.
Just when I thought there was hope for a brighter future ahead of me, we nearly get blown up and I'm stuck with you on an island illegally controlled by a private army.
Right? We have enough problems without having to deal with mushroom clouds. But we'll get you and your people through this. At the very least, we won't all be vaporized in a nuclear fireball.
Always looking on the bright side. That's why I keep you around.
Well, to be fair, that being underground probably actually wouldn't have been a problem. At least not here, but yeah. But no, one of the other things though was that the idea with a neutron bomb, okay, you've just delivered a lethal dose of neutron radiation to crews in tanks. Problem is, radiation tends not to kill you instantly. You now have potentially an at least a small army, a group of people who are going to die and are your enemy. Yeah, you really need to make it where there would be so much radiation would kill instantly, very quickly. So that was part of the whole. It just kept escalating, but yeah, I mean, sometimes there's what you do is you make it more ridiculous. Okay. Because eventually something has to give. Like, that was one thing with the Star Wars program, that it was actually pretty ridiculous. But the threat of it meant a response was necessary, so it just kept ratcheting up the costs to maintain the arms race until, because the Soviet Union, it did not have the economic engine that it needed to survive in that way. Like, at one point, the state of California had a larger, I mean, it might actually still kind of be the case. The state of California, for a time, had like the 4th largest economy in the world. I mean, think about that. A single state in the U.S. having an economy that surpassed most of the nations in the world. But yeah, the idea to Star Wars was you'd have more or less a fleet of satellites that had powerful X-ray sources that were directed basically an X-ray laser, and if the Soviet Union ever launched nuclear weapons, the idea was these satellites would quickly turn the lasers, target the warhead, and detonate it in the air before it could get to its target. Yet there was, I don't know if we still have a way. I don't know if we now have a way at this point in time. That's how I was trying to get the still in there. To make oh cool, so it is a new hideout. To make an X-ray laser like that. But it was calculated, though. Would have been calculated that the Soviet Union would have to respond, and they wouldn't be able to. And lo and behold, that is kind of what happened. They went bankrupt. It was sort of a strategy of you just keep putting the straws on the camel's back until it finally broke. And it worked. And now I'm also just thinking, could you actually do an X-ray laser? I think how the way lasers work, it would be very difficult. Because if you look up something like the Chandra X-ray Observatory, which it's for scanning the sky in X-rays, is a very long satellite, which you have to use a satellite because X-rays don't get into the atmosphere. It's like you also have to use typically satellites for infrared astronomy, but there is something called SOFIA where they basically stuck an infrared telescope inside of, I think it's a 747, and they just fly it up high enough that the atmosphere is thin enough that it works. But with Chandra, it has to be a very long satellite because you can't have a flat mirror to reflect X-rays. They have to actually be at a very shallow angle. So it acts more like a lens, focusing the X-rays, bounce off like a stone on a pond. Bounces off and gets directed to the sensor. Lasers kind of call for reflecting back and forth. Because how it works is, God, Can I move? It's not letting me move. I hate it when it does this. There we go. How the laser works is you have the lasing material. For example, helium. Well, helium neon. Would be one example. And you would charge it with electricity. So now electrons go into higher state, and when they fall, they produce light of a specific frequency. LEDs, by the way, work basically the same manner. But here's where it gets interesting, because an LED is a spontaneous emission. I talked about that in the previous part, that it just means the conditions are right, it will emit light, you just don't necessarily know when. But it will happen. Well, with a laser, it's stimulated. That's actually what the S stands for, light amplification by the stimulated emission of radiation. Because as it happens, light of the same frequency that would be emitted, if that passes by that molecule, it will, that particle, it'll actually trigger it to emit. So the result then is you can cause more light to be emitted. So you put this gas then that is charged between two mirrors. So light
soldiers must be the outcast.
So light just bounces back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, stimulating more light to be emitted. So it gets very, very bright, very powerful, on very little energy as well. And then you just have a single outlet. Now it's also important because it's all the same frequency. Because if any light is emitted that isn't of the right frequency, it will basically be attenuated. It'll be reabsorbed as energy and then re-emitted, and so you'll see it more likely come out as that specific frequency you want. So in the end, you have a coherent, because it's all the same frequency, it all lines up, a beam of light, which can do all sorts of crazy stuff. But the fact that you have that reflection back and forth, I don't know if you could even achieve that with X-rays. Alright. Yeah, they try to do all kinds of interesting stuff. Like, there's efforts in multiple places to create a laser that would be within a fiber optic cable, which is a task for multiple reasons, is a goal for multiple reasons. One is just getting it that compact, but it's also, just imagine being able to have a fiber optic cable that part of the cable can create the signal to travel along it. The potential there is pretty awesome.
Genius.
Alright.
Hello. Thanks, stranger.
Of course, it's in a different location. I can't go through this way. Oh, and I got more to do over here anyhow. One thing I don't fully know is how a semiconductor laser works. I really should look into that.
What are you supposed to be, the Brute Squad?
You must have seen my profile on a dating app.
That must be it. Turn-ons were long walks on the beach and political assassinations, right?
I'm trying to get in touch with the leader of the outcasts.
Good for you.
Sentinel's officially coming after the outcasts. I just figured he'd appreciate knowing about it.
She knows. But I bet that felt good to get off your chest. Name's Haruhi Ito.
So how'd you and your people come to be out here?
We were all proud employees of Skeltech. Till we had a falling out.
Somebody's feelings get hurt?
We found out about Project Deus and couldn't bear the thought of contributing to something that monstrous.
Why not leave?
That was what usually happened to people who disagreed with Skel. But we knew if we left, there'd be no one to stand in Skel's way, and Project Deus would be free to continue.
I'm not sure what
When
that
we
project
started
is, by the
causing
way.
Problems for Skell? He hired Sentinel. We were lucky to make it out of the cities alive. That's why they call us the Outcasts. We're
Interesting.
here now, and we're gonna fight.
You're a bunch of engineers. How do you expect to hold up against a trained force?
It ain't easy. Especially since Sentinel instituted martial law. But we're tougher than we look.
It
And there's
just
nobody else. Look, Brute Squad, if you want to help out in the fight, you're more than welcome. But where the Outcasts are concerned, I run the show.
Listen, I've got my own people to worry about for now. But seeing as our interests seem to align, I'll check in and lend a hand when I can.
so. What's interesting about this to me is that what she just said was that the Project Deus would have been under Skell. It wouldn't have been under Sentinel and the Wolves. I don't know what that project is, unfortunately. It would have been nice if there was some explanation there. But also that the Outcasts formed prior to the Sentinels arriving. So there was turmoil before. See, I wasn't fully aware of that. Alright, I was just cracking my thumb in case that survives being picked up by the mic. Okay. That does explain why it's called New Argyle. Because I really didn't understand that. Alright.
Hey, Nomad, what do you know about data security?
A little. Why?
One of Sentinel's sector bosses, Mark Meridian, has gotten a hold of a Skell algorithm that analyzes phone, email, and social media patterns.
There's probably a lot of sensitive data in that mess.
Yes. The algorithm takes advantage of online vulnerabilities. Once verified, it can be uploaded to the cloud where everybody in Sentinel can access it. With the data, Meridian can target outcast agents and their families.
So where do I fit into all of this?
Later today, Meridian and his 3 lieutenants are meeting to verify their intel and start the algorithm protocols. I'm hoping you can stop them.
Listen, I'm not your private assassin.
I know. But listen, Meridian and his men are heartless. With this info, not only are the outcasts in grave danger, but so are their loved ones.
Okay, I'll see what I can do. Where should I start looking?
One of his goons, Sullivan Blake, was last seen on the eastern side of the Good Hope Mountain province. It's north of the God-forsaken highland. Red Weasel Outpost is around there. After you track him down, he should lead you to the others.
Got it.
I was just there. Son of a bitch. Alright, that's fine. It's, I'm actually hoping... where would I find it? I want to know what the hell Project Deus is. And I want to find that in here. I do not want to look that up. It does annoy me, the name drop. And it is possible that I've already encountered that name before. It just was like in the first 10 hours. What mission is this? Oh, yeah. Actually, I don't want that one. Okay, unpin that. There. Now pin that one. Okay. Where is that helicopter? There it is. I do want to do those missions, don't get me wrong, but I, want to clear out this this province. Good as any, I guess. So not bad guys there. Oh, lovely. Okay. I'm gonna take the helicopter. And just, get away from the Amans and the wolf, who honestly I don't care about. Yeah, something else that has occurred to me, I don't know if it is the case or not. The enemies might technically be easier because of the no gear score. Just as far as because my weapons can't level up, it might also be that the enemies cannot level up. And I don't know, as I've said before, I'm not going to bother trying the non-ghost experience. This is... I don't want to invest that much time into the game. It's already got... it's looking like I'm going to be hitting 90 hours. I don't need to give it more time. But it is also, it's like there would kind of be a larger simulation. It does seem like the wolves have better body armor. They do take more body shots than the normal riflemen and breachers, but headshots are still always just one and done. That might be sort of intentional. It's meant to be more immersive, more realistic. And, well, without a heavy helmet like the heavies have, yeah, you would not survive a headshot. Like, that is one thing that is a thing, is that the helmets and such that you see, actually, are these guys wearing helmets? I don't know. No, they're not. But you see worn in old photos or in, war movies. Those aren't, or are worn today, those aren't actually meant to stop bullets. Well, maybe the modern ones are. I don't know if the material science has reached a point that they could do that. No, they're meant as, like, hard hats to protect against impacts, debris and such. I mean, it's also the case that, you know, you're not trained to shoot people in the head. It's too small, too mobile a target, and believe it or not, it's not a guaranteed kill. That is something that video games have taught us that is not actually true. I can't remember the guy's name, but the reason lobotomies were invented was that a guy once, he was a miner, a charge of dynamite went off. Might have actually been TNT, because those are different things. Drove a spike that he was driving into the wall, into his head. Went up through his jaw, and out the top of his head, destroying a portion of the frontal lobe of the brain. He walked home with that. And it completely changed his personality. But he survived.
Greetings, stranger. I'm looking for this place. Can you point me in the right direction? Awesome.
Shots to the chest. For one thing, are more likely to stop a person. It's an easier shot because it's a much larger mass, and there's a lot there that will still ultimately kill the person. I mean, think about it. You don't survive being shot in the heart. A shot to the gut, if you don't get medical attention, will kill you. It depends. It's like that. That'll take a while. Lungs, if it gets perforated, that's gonna be bloody, and it could lead to you suffocating. I mean, headshots are not what you go for. That's not the aim. You know what? Just remember, I have weapons. So body armor does make sense for stopping bullets. Okay. I do kind of wonder, I mean, I guess I do kind of wonder why video games have and also movies, have so taught us that headshots are guaranteed kills. and that it only takes one. I do kind of wonder why that is. It might actually be because they're harder shots. So it's that whole, you get this reward for achieving the more difficult thing. I say that would make sense, but it's still I don't know. These rockets are kind of slow. Which, I mean, is true that rockets, there are fast ones and there are slow ones. But it still does leave me a little curious about if that's accurate. Like, would the rockets from a helicopter like that actually be that slow? And even then, is that potentially too slow, what we've been seeing? I don't have to come to these small islands. That is why I'm doing this. I'm not gonna bother with going over to those small... I mean, maybe this one over here? But for now, I mean, it also doesn't look like there's anything on most of these islands. But still, is just clearing them on the map is something I want to do. Yeah, it looks like for the most part, I'm not gonna have to worry about it. I'm just trying to think about the time. What I want to do. Okay. Alright. That could have been a lot worse. Yeah, I'm just gonna head over there. I might use fast travel to get to the bivouac that's currently on my left. That one over there. And then finish it off. I definitely don't want to attack any of these places. It's... How long have I been going? Probably about an hour and a half, I think. Hour and 40 minutes. Okay. Yeah, like making it to... Give me another quarter hour. That I think would be fair. Maybe. And we'll see. We'll see. I have to be up early tomorrow, so I don't want to be too late. Up too late. Okay. This actually isn't a bad thing, because I can fast travel away and not have any problem at all. Why? Why? This is a puddle. Why is there a boat here? Is that the information you can tell me why there's a boat here? Because there should not be a boat here. Why would you do this? I mean, it's not like, hey, I'm fishing. Yeah, I need a boat to, throw it into the deep end. It's like, no, the deep end is right here. Oh. Okay. But the deep end is like a few inches deep enough to drown a drone, apparently. But it's so close that there are fishing poles that could reach across the entire frickin' thing. Not that you would use such a long fishing pole here, I would think. But yeah, it's like, what the hell? Why is there a boat here?
This place I'm looking for. Any idea where I can find it?
I've got a good idea of where you can go to find that.
Thanks for having my back.
Actually, I'm coming. Okay, that's down there. So that's actually good. So Looks like the main islands that I have covered with bivouacs. Start picking something up. But where? Right here. Ancient ruins, it looks like. Well, traces of. Or abandoned site. Same difference. You can't even get in it. In the boat. That's the situation here. That is how worthless even the game recognizes this boat is. You cannot get in it. And yet, it's still there. Oh my god. Oh, we have something over here too. Doesn't look like there's bad guys over here as well.
Had I gone with my friends to Shack Island, I could have been shot dead.
If we're not safe taking garbage to the trash yard, where are we safe?
Hello. I'm not gonna hurt you.
This world is totally going to hell.
You okay?
No, I'm really worried. I just heard that a bunch of outcasts were out dumping garbage by the trash yard when they got attacked.
Attacked by what?
I mean, I have no idea. Drones, I think. Those things are out of control. If we're not safe taking out the garbage, then where are we safe? Huh? I mean, it feels like they're clamping down on all of us.
Hold on, where did you say this all happened?
By the garbage dump facility on the northwest side of Shack Island. Why? Are you gonna investigate?
Yeah. But in the meantime, just tell the other outcasts to hunker down and stay safe. Appreciate your help.
That's what we're all doing today, Nomad. That's what we're all doing. Which one is... Okay. Yeah, northwestern, so that's it. I flew over it. Okay. There's even one of the cherub drones over here. Damn. Yep. I'm not gonna kill you. I have no reason to. Don't give me a reason. Hey, let me look to the southwest here. Okay. It looks like there is a reason for me to come over here. Fortunately, there is a boat. Be about here. I was very close to dead on. See, even though that in that one video, yeah, I did kind of forget which side east was on, I do have a good sense of direction. Like, with the orientation I see for myself on the map and where it is, I can just turn the correct amount. And this is in a video game, so I don't have the haptic response, if you will, the actual sensory feeling of turning. There it is. Also something further over. It might not be something to visit, but there is something over there. I did not even realize that they were there.
Hello. No need to fear. Any idea
If anything,
where this
I'm the
location
one who's
might be?
afraid.
Thanks.
Because you're basically
Appreciate
floating in the air. A-17, Scorpion, assault rifle compensator. Oops. Come on. There we go. I'm definitely going to end at a bivouac. Because I'm going to want to start and go straight to full ammo. Since I am going to be assaulting locations, since like, yeah, it's easy to do that when I got full ammo. I also just remembered, here, maybe that. That is not new. That is quite old. Son of a bitch. Okay, this is the one that it just needed metal. Oh, wait. That's funny. You can actually apply up... Well, I guess that does make sense. Yeah, that actually does make a lot of sense because you do... Just when you pick up an item, you're able to do that. So that does make some sense. But it still is weird to see. Okay. But I took care of the thing I wanted to. Oh, I have somebody to talk to. Yeah. Might as well. Oops, sorry.
Don't be afraid. I need help locating this place. You know it. I appreciate it. Goodbye.
You know, I wonder how intentional it is that, I'll go here, that the garbage dump and the incineration plant are on separate islands, while the recycling center, the recycling facility, was in the center of an area. That the whole, oh, we recycle, see? It's right there. But it's like, no, we actually dump, you know, have a garbage dump and, an incinerator They're just over there, so you don't see it. Oh, there's also a recycling factory. Actually, it says factory. Wow, so maybe it does have stuff there. I don't want to actually go over to it in person, but I do want to take a look. Does it actually have what you'd expect to need for such facility? Well, maybe. I mean, this is definitely something. It's not just packing, potentially. I don't know. Alright. Oop. Just so I'm sure it's saved. Alright. So yeah, I will hopefully be back at it tomorrow. Just family stuff going on tomorrow, so I don't know for sure. But the next thing will be to me to clear out this area and then get to some of these side missions, hopefully finish those up, and then I'll get to the main mission in starting here. This is the one way. I don't know when I will leave these here. This is one thing. I'll leave these until I have a main mission that takes me there, or some other reason to go there. Like for here, it's I wanted to meet the outcasts. What? And you know what? That also makes me think. Let me do that. I'm looking at Project Deus. I'm really hoping to see an explanation. Not there. I am not seeing anything like an explanation. Hang on. Let me try something a little different. Okay. Okay, so that did spoil some stuff for me. Whatever. But apparently Project Deus is the AI that manages all of the drones. That's funny. So there is a wiki, a fandom wiki for Ghost Recon. Actually, all Ghost Recon, not just this game. But I finally find one that has a link for Project Deus. It's red, meaning that there's no page for it. Okay, so what I'm looking at is the bio for the Outcast leader. It says that when she discovered Project Ace and the programs designed towards transhumanism and the scale of drone surveillance, she realized that she was aiding in the destruction of the human race. And thus outcasts to try to stop it. How does that not have a page to explain it? And how do I just meet her, talk to her, and it's like, oh yeah, Project Deus. You know about that, right? Oh yeah, I totally know about that. Anyway, I'm gonna be stopping now. See you next time. And I'll probably finish off Windy Islands, focus on side missions, then down the J Scale main missions. And if I'm ever pulled up to those islands in the northeast, then I will focus on clearing those out. Hopefully I'll remember that's the plan when I get to it next. I mean, definitely the clearing out of Windy Islands. That I'll definitely remember. Anyway, see you next time.